According to the question, according to the question, a survey was conducted. Can we have our lesson, please? A survey was conducted among 150 learners in grade 10 at a certain school to establish how many of them owned the following devices: a smartphone or a tablet. So here we have two events, which is what your curriculum requires for grade 10. Okay, you only encounter questions with what? Two events. The results were as follows. 8 learners did not own either a smartphone or a tablet. 20 learners owned both a smartphone and a tablet. 48 learners owned a tablet. Now, it doesn't say 48 learners owned a tablet only. Okay, be aware. Then X learners owned a smartphone. Again, it doesn't say X learners owned a smartphone only. Right? So, when you are drawing a Venn diagram, this is extremely important. When you are drawing a Venn diagram, always identify what's common for both events. That's what you have to start with. So we have our two events, is smartphone and tablet. So I'm going to draw my Venn diagram. So we have smartphone and then we have what? Tablet. So first you can identify what's common for both. So based on the question, how many learners have got both a smartphone and a tablet? 20. I'm going to repeat this because once you don't understand that, you are going to get major challenges with Venn diagrams. Always identify what's common for both events. If it's not there, then call it X. Okay? If it's not given, then call it X. So in this case, it's not X. Okay? It's a specific value, which is what? 8. Oh, sorry, it's not 8, it's 20 rather. 20 learners on both the smartphone and the tablet, so put those 20 there. Then, sometimes you might also realize that there are some elements that might not belong to any of the two events. So in this question here, we have 8 learners, those 8 there. They don't have a smartphone, they don't have a tablet. So we put those 8 outside. Are we following them? Huh? So put those 8 outside. Then, if you read the third point now, it says 48 learners owned a tablet. It doesn't say 48 learners owned a tablet only. What this means is that among the 48, we also have these 20 here. They own a what? A tablet. So how many owned a tablet only? It will be 48 minus what? 20. And that will give you 28. Are you following? Huh? Are you following that? Right? Then X learners owned a smartphone. It doesn't say X learners owned a smartphone only. So among these X here, there are also 20 who also own what? A tablet. Okay? So it will be X minus 20. So those who own a smartphone only, it's going to be X minus 20. You're following that? How easy? You see how easy it is? It's not very complicated. Right? Then now the question says how many learners, 7.22, how many learners own only a smartphone? Now here we have to solve for X first. Okay? We have to solve for X first. So in order to solve for X, that question is 7.22. We have to write an equation in terms of X. So the equation has to start with the total in the sample space on the left hand side, which is what? 150. Okay? So we can have 150 will be equal to this X minus 20 who like a smartphone only, plus those who have got a smartphone and a tablet, plus those who have got a tablet only, plus those who don't have any of the two devices. So this will be x minus 20 plus 20 plus 28 plus 8. Okay. Now, when you're doing calculations on Venn diagrams, you can't get negative answers. It's a big no-no. No negative answers when you're answering questions on the Venn diagram. So, this minus 20 and that positive 20, they cancel out. So we end up having 150 is equal to x plus 36. Okay? It is most likely that most learners will have a smartphone than what? A tablet. So we take the 30 to the left, and then you get 114. So 114 learners, okay? They, actually that's the value of x, by the way. Okay? The value of x. Okay? Now, to determine those who owned a smartphone only, we then have to subtract 20 from what? 140.
The first 20 minus 10 for the other one.
No. You see, what are we trying to do here? We are solving for what? X. We don't know what x is. So if you want to solve for x now, we have to use everything in the Venn diagram. Then, if you want to know those learners who own a smartphone only, we substitute the x here and determine the actual number of learners who own a what? A smartphone. The number of learners who own a smartphone is not x, it's x minus what? 20. So you have to solve for x first. It's 3 marks you have to show your way. Let the mark allocation guide you. Right? So, number of learners who own a smartphone only is equal to 114 minus 20, which is equal to 94. Okay? So if I was an examiner, if I allocated those 3 marks, I would give the marks as follows. 1 mark for that equation, to set up that equation, right? Second mark for the value of what? X. Then the third mark for the answer. That is the number of learners who own a smartphone only. So this mark allocation, it must guide you as to how much information you want to provide. In fact, it's always better for maths to just show all your what? Working out. If you want to get 4 marks, show all your working out. Okay, if you want to be a true mathematician, you show all your working out. In maths, we are concerned with how you get your answer. The answer itself is not very important, but it's only 1 mark. The final answer is 1 mark. The working out is the one which is with more marks. Okay. Now that I have found that x is 140, allow me to go back to my Venn diagram. Right? I'm supposed to construct a new one, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use a different color to indicate that those who own a smartphone only, it's 9 to what? 4. So I'll just put that in brackets. But in your case, you might need to draw another what? Venn diagram, where you put the numbers now with no x. Are you following that? So this 94 is equivalent to x minus 20. Right? So let's answer the questions. Let's answer the question. So the first, the 7.23 says calculate the probability right? That a learner selected at random from this book owned only a smartphone. Now this one is very simple. It will be PS only. We know that they are 94 over what? 150. What would be the answer in simplest form? 94 over 150. 47 over 75. Please, there's no need to convert that answer to a decimal. It's not necessary. Remember, I've been sharing with you, I think it's the other, the grade 11s too, because at the moment the grade 11s are also doing grade 11 probability. So please be aware that there are what are called equivalent forms, right? You can convert a common fraction to a decimal fraction. You can also convert both of them to a percentage. So this answer which I have, 47 over 75, it's a common fraction. It's not necessary to convert it to a percentage or to convert it to a decimal. It's not necessary because they are equivalent what? Forms. Okay. So this will be the answer. Then the next question B says on at most one type of device. On at most. Now this is very, very interesting. That phrase at most, it's very important. If they own at most one type of device, right? I'm sure you can agree with me that it's possible that we might include those who don't own any device because the maximum is what? Is 1. The minimum will be what? 0. Hey, can you pay attention? It doesn't say at least 1. It says at most one type of device. Which means probably some of them they won't own any what? Any device. So, how do we get that? Well, it's very straightforward. If it's at most 1, then you need these 94. We don't need the 20, we need those 28. Then we also have to include those 8. It doesn't say they own one device only. That's not what the question is saying. It's saying at most one device. Now in probability, the terminology or the language is extremely important. Okay? So 94 plus 28 plus 8. So that question, okay, so this will be, we are doing that. So it will be P at most one device. This will be equal to 94 plus 28, as those who don't own any device, we divide by the total in the sample space, which is 150. Okay, so this is 36 plus that, you get 130 over 150. And the answer will be 30 over 50. Also, we could subtract the probability of those who own 2 devices. From what? From 1. We could also subtract. We say the probability of owning at most 1 device, it will be 1 minus the probability of owning 2 devices. When you do the subtraction, you come to 130 over what? 150. In that case, it will be 1 minus 20 over 150, and then you get 130 over 150. But I don't want to go that route at the moment because I haven't introduced what are called complementary events, which probably I will introduce tomorrow. But it could be done that way as well. Any question? Any question? Okay, if you don't have a question, then let's move on to the next one. Right. Now, whenever you get a question with a Venn diagram which is already drawn, please be aware that that type of a question should be easier as compared to one where you have to construct it on your own. Okay. So here it says in a certain class of 42 boys, 27 play hockey, 32 play soccer, 7 do not play hockey or soccer. So these 7, they don't play hockey or soccer. Then an unknown number X play both hockey and soccer. And then the number of boys who play hockey only is 27 minus X. So subtracted those 27, this X from 27. The number of boys who play soccer, we subtracted 32. Sorry, X from 32, and we got 32 minus X. That's how the Venn diagram was constructed. Right? It's pretty straightforward. Then the first question says calculate the value of X. Well, let me do it at the top. So I'm going to do that one there. So it will be 8.11. So 8.11, we just have to add everything. So it will be 27 minus X plus X plus 32 minus X plus 7. This will be equal to 42. What this means is your X cannot be more than 42. Please be aware of that. X cannot be more than 42 because that's the total in the sample space. You must use common sense there. The total in the sample space is 42. You can't calculate the value of X and get a value which is more than 42. No way. So, minus X and positive X cancel out. 27 plus 32, that's 59, plus 7, you will get 66 minus X, okay, is equal to 42. Okay, so your X is going to be 66 minus 42. At this stage, I don't expect you to struggle with solving that linear equation. So you get X equal to 24. If you take the minus X to the right, it becomes what? Positive, isn't it? Wait, then you take the 42 to the left, the 42 becomes what? Negative, isn't it? Okay, I wish I had talked to you when 89.
No, say you want it wrong.
Wait. I'm gonna. Don't worry.
No.
Relax.
No.
I wanna show you something. No, I'm telling you this. You are gonna learn something new. If I give you X is equal to Y, is it different from Y equal to X?
No.
No, right? Let's check this. If you see from this step here, okay, I can write 66 minus 42, right? Take the 42 to the right, to the left. Can you look here? Because I'm sharing with you something important. Then if you check the negative X, it becomes what? Positive. Am I right? Yes. Am I right? What is 66 minus 42? It's what? Which is the same as X equal to what? But it's the same. Okay, right. So let's carry on now. Now that we found X, let's put X there. So 27 minus 24 will give us a what? A 3. So this will be a 24. Okay, 32 minus 24, that will be 8. Are you following? Huh? Are you following? Huh? Then let's answer the probability question. Now the 8.1.2 says if a boy from the class is chosen at random, calculate the probability that the boy does not play hockey or soccer. Okay? Now, those who don't play hockey or soccer is this what? 7. Okay? It's weird though that they don't play soccer. So it will be P. Okay, this is P not hockey or soccer. So that will be equal to 7 over 42, which is 1 over 6. We can say P neither walking nor soccer. Okay, you can write that as well. Then A is only soccer. So this will be P S only. That one is easy. Those who play soccer is 8. So that will be 8 over 42. Right? Now 42. So that will be 8. 2 into you get 4 over 21. 14.
Never mind.
Okay, there's a common factor, isn't it? Between 8 and 42. Let's start with the 2. 2 into 8 is what? 4. 2 into 42, 21. But there is no common factor between 4 and 21. Therefore, our answer in simplest form will be 4 over 21. Are you following? Huh? Are you following? I'm going to remind you later on. But remember, the other day I was explaining everything. How come you are giving me an incorrect answer?